Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Outlands podcast, episode 3. Today, I'm joined by my special guest co-host, PvP. He's right under. And I'm joined by a very, very, very special guest, your ALGS champion, JMW. How are you guys doing today?
Yeah,
I'm doing great.
I'm doing
Perfect.
good. Thank you. Thank you.
I
Thank
did
you.
a patch VOD review of season 13. It was amazing. I'm excited.
Oh my gosh. Well, tomorrow, as we're recording this, is when season 13 comes out. And there's a lot of changes that look really good for competitive. And I think that we are in for a very, very good time coming up soon. Oob changes, Valk changes, Fortified changes, you name it. There was a bunch of changes that are going to be really, really good for Apex as a whole coming up. And I think we are in for a very big treat. But we're going to be talking about today is a little bit of a throwback because it was a week ago. And you won ALGS championships being a sub. Now, everybody has been saying that's a crazy big feat and how they were so surprised that you guys won with a sub. From your POV, how did that all come to like fruition, and how did you get your call to go and play?
Okay, so let's just start from the beginning. So it was a Thursday. Yeah, Thursday is where I got the call because Friday was where we started playing. So Thursday, I kind of like woke up, didn't have the best of sleep that night. So I woke up and I woke up to like a few messages. From first one was from North.
Yeah.
He was like just messaging me on like he was just trying to get a hold of me. He was just like messaging me Twitter, Instagram, Discord,
Yeah.
calling me, and I was like, "What's going on?" And he says, "A team needs you," and I'm like, "What to play?" And I'm like, at first it hits me. I'm like, "Oh my god, what the hell?" I was never expecting this. Literally, they're playing tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then Grace was messaging me. Was like, "Yo, a team needs you," and I'm like trying to like, and then like a few more people was like, "Yeah." So then I'm just talking to North, and then at the time he was like, "Rick needs a sub," and I was like, "Isn't Jen okay? Didn't he not test negative?" He was like, "No, he came back today and it's positive again." And that's where literally the whole like thing starts. It's like chaos from there. This is, bear in mind, this is around about 2 p.m. ish in my time. And
I just realized something.
Yeah, go on.
Did Graceful call you and you didn't answer your phone?
That's because I was on the call with Noth. I was trying to do PvP. It was mental.
I just realized this. I was with Graceful and he was trying to like message you on every platform. He's like, why is he not answering his phone? Like he's missing such a good opportunity. Like what is he doing right now?
Yeah.
He was like freaking out, like why you weren't like answering.
Nah, he was sawing logs.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
No, yeah. I had, because I was talking, like Naughty wanted to talk to me as well, about like Grace. And I'm just like, there's so much going on right now. I just can't.
Yeah, I remember that too. I was with Naughty.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Noth is like calling. He was like, "Yeah, Rick needs you," and I was like, "Okay." I'm talking. Then I like start talking to Zer0 on Twitter. He's like, "Jen's doing a result test right now, and like we might need you," because Noth was Noth was talking to Zer0, and he was like recommending me like all the time, like saying, "Yeah, Jake's like a really good sub to be."
Because wasn't Noth the original one that was going to play with them?
So Noth was a sub for like 3 different teams.
Oh.
And he was like, yeah. And Noth was like, you should get this guy. Like if I can't come, then I will step in as a last minute. But he literally pushed me to play with them. Like he wanted me to play with them.
That's awesome.
And yeah.
Noth is a great guy, man.
Yeah, Noth is a really good guy.
Yeah,
we've known each other for quite a bit now, like since the start of Apex.
Mhm.
Lovely guy.
Yeah.
So while I was talking to Zer0, I was looking like I had to ring up my mum, and I was like, I'm gonna have to go team needs me in Sweden. I'm going to go." And she was like, "Yeah, we'll just get you there." Literally, just simple as that. Because I don't
That's
think she
awesome.
was working at the time. And
Shout out to mom.
Yep, shout out to mom. And she doesn't expect a call from me like midday. So obviously, I think she picked up straight away, thinking something's wrong.
They
And
always
luckily,
do.
My dad, yep. And luckily, my dad came home that day, like midday, and he was able to take me to the airport. But literally, as this was going on, I had like a flight ready to go because obviously I wasn't sure if I was going to go or not because we were waiting for test results for Jen because I think he had to be negative on that day to be able to play, otherwise he was
he did.
disqualified.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yep, I was getting my like suitcase ready. I had everything like basically ready to go. So when Zer0 was like, "Yeah, book it," I was ready to go, like on my way. And I think he messaged to say book it about quarter past 4 p.m. And bear in mind, my flight was at
The day before, right?
7:55. No, it was 7:55 on that day.
Like in the morning?
No, 7:55 at night.
Oh, at night. So then you guys
So
would
you competed
play.
the next day, right?
It was at like
No,
9 or 10
I couldn't-
a.m., right?
I couldn't fly the next day because
So when did you
7:55
start? When did you start competing? What was the first day of ALGS?
Friday, and this was Thursday.
Yeah, so you flew in the day before, and then you had to compete in the morning, right?
Yeah, so I got in. I got in at Sweden about 12 a.m. And then had to go through all the stuff, and then I got out about I think 12:30. Then took a taxi to the hotel. Got in about 1 a.m. Literally just had to.
How did
put
they
all
get
my
you a hotel room?
Oh, so when I was talking to Zer0, I was like, "Can you reserve a spot for me? Like reserve a
That
room?" Because
hotel
they
was
had
booked.
rooms. Yeah, they had rooms open in there.
Oh,
Luckily
okay.
enough, because Noth was helping me out before, and he was like, "Oh, there's like rooms in this hotel they're actually playing at." Because if I was at another hotel, this would be like even
Yeah,
more
they
crazy.
probably had a reserve
Yeah, it
for
would have been nuts.
ALGS reasons.
Yeah, so it was very lucky I got like a room there as well. And yeah, go on.
I was just gonna say for the people watching that don't know what happened in Sweden, basically, COVID's still a thing, believe it or not. For the people that don't believe in it, they had a situation where if any of your players tested positive for COVID, they weren't able to compete during the entire event. But what ALGS did is they opened up a new rule last second and said any team that has a player that gets COVID, they can have an emergency COVID sub, and they can basically pick anyone they wanted for that emergency COVID sub to play.
Yep.
And the way that worked was any person that was an emergency COVID sub could be on multiple rosters at once. That way, so if anyone got screwed over, they could just jump into a team real quick. So that's how JMW was able to get picked up last second.
Yeah.
It worked out perfectly.
Yeah, it did. And basically, yeah, got in at 1 a.m. ish. I just had to chuck everything, like, just on the floor and get into bed just to try and sleep. And it was not the best of sleep that night, I'll tell you that.
The nerves were getting to you a little bit?
Can you imagine?
I think the biggest nerves I had was on the drive up to the airport because I was just sitting there like, oh my
You're like,
God,
holy shit, what's going on?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
what's going on? I'm having to feel for Jen.
Yeah.
I'm playing for a rig
Yeah.
that everyone's got high expectations for.
Yeah, I think Jen Burton was probably the #1 player at playoffs that people wanted to watch. Like he was the #1 person that everyone wanted to see play.
Yeah, so the nerves were definitely hitting hard. Like when I was on the way up there, like my stomach was just turning upside down.
Yeah.
I think after that, like getting on my flight was just chill. But yeah, when I went to sleep, it was just like I barely like slept, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't even classify it as sleep.
And you never played with Rig before this in like a scrim or anything? You never competed in a tournament with them?
Well, you never talked to Zer0, right?
No,
have you ever played ranked with them?
No.
You never talked to them? You never played ranked with them, you never played pods with them? You probably didn't even follow them on Twitter.
Nope, didn't follow him on Twitter. Literally followed Zer0 on Twitter that day. And I talked to him.
That's crazy.
Oh, wow. And Sharky is actually a relatively new player for Rig as well.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Reignite played with Templex for the longest time, and then Sharky joined probably a few months ago.
Sharky was on a team with Zer0 before,
way at the start. Like when comp first started in APAC, it was like they were the first duo, and then Zer0 and Jen kind of linked up, and then they've been a duo since like basically like
Yeah.
like summer circuit or something like that. It's been that long.
I feel like I should go into the C9 situation a bit because it kind of involves JMW as
Yeah,
well.
it does. Yeah.
So
Feel free.
C9, we had the same situation. Zach, our main IGL, he got COVID as well. Initially, I was going to be the sub. I'm the coach for the team, but I'm also capable of being a good sub as well. But I had a major sponsored tournament that I was in. It was like a whole month-long tournament, huge prize pool, $350,000.
Shout out AT&T.
And on Friday, that was the last day of the tournament.
Mhm.
And if I were to play in that tournament, I would miss the last 6 games of Friday. So my team would have literally had to play as a duo during those last 6 games. So that was my situation. Like I either have to play in that tournament and skip those 6 games, or I can't sub for my team and we have to find a different sub. So
Yeah.
we hit up Graceful, which is JMW's teammate. And he was an emergency COVID sub for TSM. And it took
Yeah.
a lot of yelling with Hal and convincing with Graceful to try and get him to play for us. And we eventually were able to convince him. I know like Naughty DM'd Graceful and he explained to him like, yo, listen, you just need to play with us. Like it's in Sweden. You live 20 minutes from the venue. Like just play for
Yeah.
us right now. Like I'm sorry that you have to leave TSM, but they could fly out someone else and have a different COVID sub.
They could fly out someone in 5 minutes.
Yeah, luckily
realistically.
TSM didn't get COVID. They were fine.
Yeah, they were chilling.
Yeah, Graceful subbed for us, and we ended up getting 10th place at LAN, but we made it to finals. We got invited to Champs, so huge dub to Graceful.
W.
It worked out for us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, yeah. But going on forward, like when I woke up, when I first met them, they were like really nice. Like Zer0 was just like messaging me the whole time, like just telling me what to do, like bringing me food and stuff and drinks and sorting everything out. So
Did they go over any strats with you ahead of time?
so he was like I remember it, like I can remember like off by heart. It was literally I was in line for getting my COVID test done. He was just like, yeah,
No shot.
Yeah, we played this comp. We're gonna be flex landing.
We're gonna Valk out here. We're gonna land here. We're gonna set it up with caustic traps. Like, yeah.
We're gonna obviously flex land. You're gonna be on caustic because that's what Jen plays for them. And yeah, he was just telling me all this different stuff.
Like,
and then
were you good at like caustic? Like, was that like your main legend too, or were you filling like kind of a weird role for yourself?
No, not really, because I can like myself. I can play anything.
Yeah.
But switching to controller is kind of like a little bit difficult with sort of legends, but it was fine. So back on like KNG, like first split of Pro League, I played Gibby for mainly all of it, and then on the last week I was like, "Grace, just go back to Gibby, let me play Caustic," and then we went from there. And it was fine. We did good that week as well, which made us qualify for the playoffs that one. So I knew how to play like Caustic. Obviously not the best like Caustic and all, but I obviously knew how to like a basic idea and everything.
Well, realistically, you are the best Caustic in the world now, so it works out like that.
Yeah. So I did have some experience on him before, but not on controller that much. So, but yeah.
At least he's not like a hindrance character on controller. It's like it's not.
He's really good.
Yeah,
he's really good. Definitely really good.
I was pissed that you guys won because if C9 won, I was gonna go on the main stage during the interview and say nerf Caustic and Fortify. Fuck Fortify, nerf Caustic.
Yeah.
Caustic's OP.
Well, you got your Fortified nerf. You can chill now. You can chill on Twitter.
I wanted, but got a little bit of a nerf.
But yeah, like when I first met them, like at the our PlayStation and stuff, they were nice, really nice guys, like to meet, and they kind of just literally just welcome me in as like one of their own, basically.
That's awesome.
I didn't really get much of a warm up because all my equipment had to get checked and everything. So I literally got like one control game in before playing, 6 games on LAN.
Well, wasn't that like the only thing that you guys had to warm up to? Was like firing range and control, and like people only played like one control game throughout the entire it was whole set.
We only got to play control on the very first day. Well, I did.
Yeah.
But everyone else just played firing range, I guess. So.
Yeah, because if you
guess that's a warm up again.
you could like queue up for control, and if the game activated, anyone that didn't get in was just kind of screwed over.
Yeah,
they could only do range.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why.
that's not a bad warm up. Like I feel like that's probably the sweatiest control game you'll ever play in your entire
Oh,
life.
it was so good. It was
I was
so
watching
good.
Naughty
Bro,
play. It was good.
imagine that was
It
like
was
they had
amazing.
like if they had any idea to do like a show match before and you guys played like a control game or like or someone did like an arenas game on LAN, like that would have been
Yeah,
crazy
they
for
should.
viewership. They missed a
Yeah.
little bit
I
of like
saw a Reddit post on Reddit Competitive Apex, and they were talking about how during the after champs, like during the off season, they should do some like all-star events and do some like cool for fun tournaments and stuff. So like that
kind of follow what Riot does a little bit and
Yeah.
kind of follow that, yeah. Because that's
Yeah, they
something they've
should.
been doing for a
It's
while.
going to be a massive break between champs.
Well,
and
what are we thinking? The
next
break is going to
pro.
be like 3 months or 2 months or
I'm not sure, but any team not in champs is already having a 2-month break. So you add
Yeah.
another 2 months on that, then it's at least 4 for
Yeah,
some
I
of
think
these
it's
teams.
4.
that's
Could be
crazy.
4 for sure.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm sure they'll come up with like either they'll make the third party tournaments the focus and then they'll just kind of like try and hike up the third party tournaments. Hopefully EU gets more of those so you guys aren't kind of pushed to the side because I feel like they really don't have a lot for you guys there. Like they'll have like a small tournament every once in a while. I might have to talk to my BFC people about potentially getting you guys a
I think
EU
it's, like,
circuit.
the only thing that was like decently done for us, which NA didn't get, was the Blast tournament.
Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that.
Blast was really good. Like the
How was the
production,
quality?
like, quality was good as well. Really good. And that was like nice to do because they did like what 20K for like BR and then 20K for arenas. People weren't fan out of the arenas. I
Yeah.
think people liked watching it, but like I don't know.
Arenas aren't bad to
mean,
watch, but I
I
feel
didn't
like
watch a single arena
yeah,
tournament.
I don't watch those arenas tournaments like because BR is
Yeah.
just crazy in comparison.
I mean, to be
Like,
fair, it wasn't bad to play. I'm not gonna lie.
didn't you guys win one of them? Or
We
I
won
can't
both the
remember.
arenas.
Oh, you won. Oh, okay. So yes, I do
Yeah, so-
remember you guys winning that. Okay,
That was when you played with Graceful and
May,
Matey.
Yeah.
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 That's another thing we should probably mention is that his team, Matey, Graceful, and James.
You guys
W.
made it to
yourself,
LAN
They
separately.
well, they made, yeah. So you guys finished 11th place in your pro league, right, for Europe,
Yeah, I love that
and
place.
top 10 got invited to this LAN. You guys missed it by like 2 points or something really small, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was 2 points.
Unfortunate. But at least all 3 of you guys became emergency COVID subs for team at LAN. And the cool thing is that all 3 of you guys also made it to finals
yeah.
at LAN.
Yeah.
You won the tournament. Graceful got 10th with C9, and then Matey got 11th with GMT, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11 of 12. It was one of the 2.
Yeah.
He was a Ukrainian sub, right? Not a
Yeah.
COVID sub. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you guys are a
That
fucking
was awesome.
beast of players.
Yeah, it was definitely nice to be able to like meet them. Especially like I've never met May before, but Grace I met in Poland.
Well, yeah, you've been playing since Poland or a little bit before Poland.
Well, funny enough,
Oh my God.
in Poland.
Did
I
you
was
guys
a
meet in
sub-
Poland?
I was a sub for Grace's team for Poland as well.
What?
Wow.
That just worked
Really?
out. That is
By
crazy.
this,
So basically, it was Grace, Vainless, and Evo, for Triumph back then.
I feel
And
bad because I don't know those
Evo-
players.
So
did they break apart
Evo-
after Poland?
So Evo couldn't play the LAN because of his like country he was in. Like it wasn't on the EA the EA.
Afterwards,
country thing.
they and yeah.
Okay.
So they only like added it like recently to this this year's ALGS.
Mhm.
So everyone like because this was like what it was like an 80 team LAN, wasn't it? Something like that.
At Poland,
It was a lot, yeah.
it was
lot.
either 60 or 80. I think it was 80.
Yeah.
And there was just so many people going. And
Yeah.
like at the time we had like, us like EU, we had like a kind of like a group, together. Where like kind of also like play ranked together and everything. And like everyone like
Mhm.
recommended me to Grace. So then Grace picked me up for
Is that how you guys like first met? Like
Yep.
you hadn't even talked to him before that,
No,
or did you know him?
no, didn't
That
really
is
talk to him at all.
crazy.
When did you guys form a team with Graceful and Matey?
So it was after
Because
LAN, and Grace wanted to make a new team after LAN because he didn't want to
'Cause-
play with Vayne anymore.
I have something that's really funny is I was making a team at that time too, and I was trialing Graceful on my team
Because there
And
was no
Grace-
regions back then, right?
There was no region lock.
That is
and
crazy.
I was making a team. I was trialing with Graceful, and he was picking between my team and you guys, and that was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And he ended up going with
Holy
you
crap.
guys, and you guys stayed as a team for like 2.5 years or something fucking crazy.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
mental.
That's
So,
that's pretty wild.
He wanted to make a team with me and May, and then and then he just offered. He was like, "Do you guys want to do this?" And then you were like, "Yeah, we're down," because we didn't really obviously have any offers. And
Yeah.
we started playing together. Started out slow, and then we like
Team Nessie, baby. Woo!
yeah. And then
Yep,
when we came
Nessie.
Nessie, we just farmed.
Yeah, you guys were the top earners in EU, right? Pretty sure, or something like that.
Yeah, it was kind of
Well, 4
it
champs,
was-
I think, yes.
we definitely
Four
we
champs?
ended EU. I know top 2, like in the ALGS point stuff. Like we got
you
the
guys are
most,
nuts.
like
Yeah.
so.
Because I think Scars ended up passing you guys, or you guys would be second
No,
right now.
it wasn't Scars. It was Gambit at the time. Us and Gambit were the 2. Like,
Oh,
it was,
okay.
You
Yeah.
It
talk
was
teams, yeah.
legit like a couple of points between us.
That was really
It was
good that
crazy.
Graceful went with you guys too, because then afterwards they added the region lock. Because I ended up teaming with Nasky, and Nasky had to literally fly to the US to play one of the calls with me.
Yeah, that was crazy too.
Well, yeah, he
so
was
that's
there.
how-
He was there for a while. Like, didn't he get stuck? Because it was like right around COVID as well.
Nasky?
Yeah.
No. We qualled, and then COVID actually hit the week. The week that it really hit the US was the week
Mhm.
that we were supposed to have the Texas LAN. And that's when they
Oh,
canceled the
yeah.
LAN, and that's when COVID really started.
Because people
that's
ended
when
up
shit
flying
got
over,
serious.
and then
Yep.
shit got serious.
Yeah.
Then they got
Yeah.
then a few
'Cause
people
people
got
were-
stuck, and then they had to go back quickly.
Yeah, the quals were already over with. We qualled. He was back in Denmark.
Yeah.
But some people flew over early to boot camp before the LAN, so that's why there was
Yeah.
a lot of European players in Texas already. And then that's when
Was that in
COVID hit.
January?
It was in February, I believe.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was around that time.
Because I ended up joining the scene in March, I think, or April, and like all this talk of like you guys talking about Poland and stuff is like I hadn't started watching at that point, but I knew about Apex and how like the scene had started to grow a little bit. Then I came back in season
Mhm.
5, and I think that was a little bit afterwards. And yeah, you guys, I just missed so much of like the early days, and I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I was here to kind of figure that out before, but like, I don't know. I think it ended up working out in the long run, and yeah, I'm really excited to be a part of this and know everybody, because I think it's once Raleigh happens, and if everybody can go, I can't wait to meet everybody. It's gonna be so awesome.
And it's definitely like a good community for sure. So
Was there
It's nice
anybody that
to-
you wanted to like meet when you were going there? Like, obviously it was like last minute, but like,
the people I wanted to meet the most was the Rebel guys like North Taylor,
mhm.
and obviously Grace and May. Like obviously those were probably the most like people like I was excited to see the most. But like obviously I was excited to see everybody. Like there was like it was just nice to see everybody, you know, you've been playing with like over 3 years. It's
Yep.
just nice to be able
Yeah,
to, like,
not being
finally
able to
see-
meet everybody after 3 years is takes a toll on you guys, because
Yeah.
it's definitely like for different, because it's taken us so long to get back to this point where we can have in-person lands, and like all these other games have had them, and they've had like relative success. I know in League they finally had their first in-person finals again for North America. So I'm really excited for people to like kind of get to feel what it's like to have fans, because I feel like that's gonna be the like just another level. Because do you think it would have been a lot harder for you, and you would have been a lot more nervous if there was fans there?
No, I don't think so, honestly. I think it depends on the crowd, obviously.
Mhm.
But like in Poland we had to like obviously like we had like in-ears and like headphones.
Yeah,
on
I feel
top.
like they did it a little different this time, didn't they?
This time we just had a noise cancelling headset.
It was like
So,
Apparently
like
they were
an
trash.
It was like an Air Force certified like jet headset.
yeah,
like-
like literally just squashed your head.
Yeah.
They would
Yeah,
literally
like-
screw those things into your brain. There was the
Yeah.
clamp on your skull.
So do
we
you
got, like,
think do you think that would have been better if you guys did the in-ears this time versus like last time or this time, I guess?
For the quality, I think yes, because everyone would have had like their own like preferred like in-ears for like what you've been playing with at home.
Yeah.
So for the quality, yes, but then for the comfort, probably not, because them on top of the things would have probably like just hurt even more, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was decent the way they had it this time because there was obviously like no crowd and it was kind of okay, but it just took a time to get used to the headset because it was just like clamping your head.
What about competing on LAN versus playing in all these online ALGS tournaments that we've had over the past couple of years? Like, do you think how does it feel, like the game itself? And I guess that's the main question: is like, how does it feel?
I
Play on
assume the
LAN
hit
versus-
reg is definitely the biggest thing that would be a difference.
It's definitely nice having everyone on the like the fair playing ground compared to
For sure.
at home where
Yeah.
you know someone's on a higher ping, you know, you could get killed around a corner, you know, some bullets are not registering. So I think definitely the definitely thing of LAN is like everyone on the same playing field for sure, because you can't really complain at that point because
Yeah.
everyone's on the same ping, everyone's on the same computer, everyone's literally
It's an
doing
even
the same
playing
thing.
field. Yeah.
Even playing field, exactly.
Yep.
But for like nerves and everything, well, Poland was my first ever LAN.
Yeah.
But this one just felt right, honestly. Like I was confident, I was calm. It just felt like right playing, you know.
Did it feel like you were kind of like at home? Or was it a little weird?
Like I feel like if not, being at home, like playing is like just like as nervous. I don't know why. Like obviously you're at home comfortable and stuff, but when I'm there to compete, it's like I'm there to like, you know, you're kind of like locked in.
Yeah, you got your
And
team next to you
there's
too. Like when
team
you're at
next
home,
to
you're kind of
you.
just alone in your room. And
Yep, exactly. So you're kind of like more locked in and more focused at LAN, I would say.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
I think that'd be a lot of like better. Did you
Yeah.
get any
Like,
no regs at LAN? Like noticeable ones?
Zer0 got one.
I was gonna say, I think you guys know what you're on about, the Kraber shot in
The
the end,
Kraber
right?
shot? Yeah.
So I think that's. I don't know what happened on his screen for that, but on spectator it would look like a clear no reg. For me personally, I don't think I got any no regs, not that I can remember. But yeah, I think like just felt like smooth and everything. So can't remember one like ridiculous no reg that happened to me.
There was a couple bugs at LAN. Like there were some teams that were crashing.
Oh, yeah.
I know for my
That-
team specifically on Ring 5 zone closure, the zone literally disappeared for them.
Yep. It's been happening a lot lately too.
And it kind of led to my team, you know, I think it led to them dying.
Dying to
It
zone.
kind of created a lot of panic because
Yeah.
they were just randomly in zone taking damage out of nowhere. The zone was invisible, and then they're like had to jump forward, use an ult, and like it's kind of unfortunate.
No, one thing did happen to me actually. We just landed and like I think the whole my computer's internet just cut out. My TeamSpeak just died. My left
Wow.
earphone just completely like it was like my left earphone wasn't noise cancelled, so I could hear myself speak and everything. And on my right one, it was like, and the audio was just completely off. And
That's
my game
weird.
just cut out and everything. And I was like, we had to call someone over like quick because they were like still playing. And I were just like, what is going on? Luckily, like I think like 10 seconds later,
Yeah.
like, everything just
Everything
comes
went
back.
back. Yeah.
But my left earphone for the whole of that game was just screwed.
That's weird.
And yeah, I've never had that happen before.
Yeah.
And well, I just played the game out of it and then asked to swap headset afterwards.
How are the
Yeah.
admins in general? How did you feel that they were?
I think the admins were like pretty, you know,
They're really nice.
they're
pretty
really
helpful.
nice for sure. The only one thing I would say is we were on top stage the whole time, and
Apparently people
Obvious-
hated that.
obviously the admins have to walk up and down, you know, to check on people's computers.
Yeah.
But I think that's where they kind of need to have like maybe one just sit like checking like one behind each one.
Yeah.
Because they can't just have someone walking up and down the whole time.
Because it was shaking
Yeah.
everybody's
it was
like
shaking the whole
desks.
screen and everything.
Yeah,
It was just-
one of our admins said that when we play, he wasn't gonna walk back and forth because I think that it was like day 3, and I think people were complaining at that point about like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the
In
stage
the
is shaking a
finals,
bit.
it was fine. We had one guy just sitting behind us watching
Yeah,
us and Optic, so he was like between us.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
between the teams. Yeah,
But the other 2 days, it was just stomp. Like, obviously, I guess they could maybe try a little bit harder, but it was nothing they can really do. It was just the sort of
Yeah.
stage it was
Yeah,
on.
the stage that they had
But
like
it really just
presented.
completely like shook the screen. It was just like, oh my god, what is happening? Especially
During
when we're
one,
trying to fight.
yeah, during one of our games, someone opened the door outside and they left it open, and it was so cold. Oh my
Yeah.
god, dude! Like literally, Naughty turned around. He's like, "What the fuck is going on right now? Like, why is it so cold?" I had to
do
tell an
remember-
admin to go close the door. I was like, "Dude, chill."
Wait, so that
I
was
do-
on the B setup, right? On like the B stream setup.
I was on the main broadcast for us on
So
the main
where-
stage.
Oh, it's in the name.
Where, like, in respect to, because like people that weren't there obviously don't know what the B setup was
How the
like.
stage was set up.
How did that like look and feel? Were you guys just all on the ground, and it's just like
It was
lines and lines of desks and stuff?
It was just like a massive room that was a little bit separate to the main stage, and they had all the teams separated by curtains. There was like
Well, that's
there was like
nice.
three desks that each of the players had, and then there was like curtains that separated all the teams.
That's a good
And
way
you were
to
just
do
on
it.
the floor of a room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one thing they could have done with that though, I feel like they need to close off like the entire like stuff you're in, because you could see
Yeah.
like other teams. I feel like they had like the sides like covered, but not in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
So you could see like
Wait, were
you could see,
people's
like-
screens? You could see people's screens then?
No,
you
it
could
was
see
like
people's screens, but you could basically see if they were like playing still, you know.
you could see not their screens. You could see like the back of their monitors, like they were
Back
in
of the
front.
monitors, yeah.
Yeah, like you were facing
I-
each other.
Okay.
Like teams would be facing each other.
So they
I
weren't.
feel like-
That's actually really good. Then they handled that
was-
decently.
Yeah.
Well,
But
well,
I think
kind
they
of.
could have just had like a curtain in front, so no, it was all closed off, you know.
Yeah,
So nobody
You-
could see.
you could actually hear like when a team was calling, like screaming callouts, or
Yeah.
if they like all like died, you could see them stand up or something or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
You could kind of tell. You could get a little bit of LAN info based off that. Overall, it wasn't too big of a deal.
It's hard
Yeah, it
for
wasn't
them
too
to
bad.
completely like rule that out from
Yeah.
start to finish. Like you can't control people to that extent. Obviously, they
There
should
was-
stay sitting down, but like,
I think
over
one
time, I think.
downside was each like group session or like each day you would be at a different setup, and you wouldn't be able to take your stuff with you, and the admins would take your stuff and they would move it to the new setup.
Mhm.
And I know there was some problems where like the admins would like ruin mouse pads by folding them or stuff like that.
Didn't Hal's like D key not work for like a day or something?
Yeah, there was a little bit of problems with how they handled the equipment. It wasn't that big of a deal, but I know like Mady,
Yeah.
for example, his mouse pad got like ruined, and it was like a really expensive one.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I better reimburse him for that.
Another question is, Mady is you were an MNK player for a couple years in this game, right? And then you
Yeah, I
swapped
was.
to the roller not too long ago, and you played
Yeah.
that LAN on roller. What's your history on roller, and what's your history on MNK, and why did you swap?
So let's start with I guess the MK. My history on MK, like been playing I guess I haven't been playing like FPS games. The only like FPS game I really have like experience on before Apex was like playing Rust. I think everybody knows what Rust is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only really experience I've had on like FPS game before Apex. Other than that, I was just like playing like MMOs and stuff like that. Like not really like.
You were a
any
console
game.
gamer before that, or what?
And then before that, I was like hardcore like Xbox gamer, yeah,
Okay.
basically.
You went from
the-
Rust MNK to Apex MNK.
Yep, and that was like the only like FPS experience.
That's
I've
not a
really
bad
had.
FPS
Okay.
to start on either. Like, I feel like
No,
the
it's not.
aim, like the precise amount of aim that you have to have in Rust can actually like really help you.
Yeah.
Kind of felt
So you
natural, like,
think-
swapping over?
So you think overall controller you have more hours on controller, but as of the past few
Oh,
years
yeah.
you have more hours on MNK easily.
Yeah, definitely that way. Overall, my whole life, I have more hours on controller than I do MK.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think that's true for a lot of people. That's true for me as well.
But for MNK, obviously I haven't touched a controller since like when I
Like
played
years.
Call of Duty Ghosts, maybe.
Ah, that's a
Like
long time.
by
So, yeah.
7-8 years or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
been a while.
And then
So-
how long did you play controller before this LAN?
Oh, before this LAN.
Apex.
So I picked it up about before Pro League Split 1, like just about like 2 months before it, and I was like, give this a try because this is when the Blast tourney was going on as well.
Mhm.
And I played the Blast BR tourney, all MNK, and then I was like afterwards I was like messing around with control, and I was like kept playing it, and I was like, this is actually like this
And
is
one
actually
clipping
pretty
people
fun.
is fun.
Yeah.
And
It's weird. I look at them and they die.
yeah, and it's just like this is like OP plus fun, and I
Yeah.
felt like
Yeah.
I can get good with this. Like
Yeah.
this is not like something.
So
that I can-
basically, you took an 8-year break from controller. You picked it up for 2 months, and then you won LAN.
Welcome to
Unroller.
controller
No,
on
no, no.
in
So
Apex.
I have more experience on than 2 months. So we also had like a GLL tourney as well, and I was like, this time around, I'm playing this arena tourney on controller,
Yeah.
and
That's that's a good choice.
and then we won it that time as well. So then I won an MK tournament on arena tournament on then, and I won a controller arena tournament, and that's
Yeah.
where like my first I won a controller like on both inputs basically like a
Mhm.
tourney, but this was only arena, so obviously
That
it
was
doesn't
probably
count
your
to the
epiphany
fullest.
moment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Pro League Split 1 came around. I was like, no, I'm just gonna play MK, play it safe for this. We don't do too bad. We obviously could have done better. And then afterwards, I was like, you know what, just go controller, go commit it. So like I commit to fights more. I'm more confident in myself when close range fighting.
And your teammates are MNK, right?
Yeah, teammates were MK, and I was like, I can get better with this over the coming months.
Yeah.
Look, like imagine like a year from now, if I just kept practicing this every day.
A little less than that.
Who knows? Who knows what could happen? So then
Yeah.
I pick it back up, and I play it for about 4 months, and up until now, like start of this year, pick it back up again.
That's good.
Yeah, just kept like grinding
Nice.
with it, honestly.
Now you're here.
And then now
It does seem like for comp the 1-2 split, like one controller, 2 MNK is a
Exactly.
really strong setup right now.
Yeah, funny enough, I was contemplating going back to MNK literally about 2 days before this LAN. Well, this LAN.
That
I was
is.
contemplating
Is it because you guys didn't qual as a team?
Yeah. I was like, but
I'm guessing you're not going back to MNK anymore.
Yeah.
no, I'm not going back. Not going back. I'm sticking with controller.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just like,
That's good
every
to
time
hear.
you don't call for something, it's like, obviously it's not like your self thing, or like you always like put the thoughts in your mind. It's like, oh, am I like the problem because I swapped or something? But it's not like that, We
No.
had some other like problems in there which we didn't qual. We could have easily come like top 2 in that Pro League. It's just disappointing.
Let's talk about a little bit about LAN meta between all the different regions and how you feel about like Valkyrie Caustic comp, because you guys were one of the teams that played Valkyrie Caustic on both maps. C9 did the same, but not everyone was like that. And also, someone asked another question about people playing aggressive on LAN when everyone thought everyone would be passive. Because LAN was fairly aggressive. There were teams dying fairly quickly on some of the days.
They were like scrim lobbies.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the days were definitely like scrum lobbies.
Well, the
I think
main
finals was pretty passive.
the groups, like I would expect the finals to be passive, but the group stage it played out probably as well as I thought it was going to. And
Yeah.
people like in scrims for a solid, like we had scrims for 2 weeks before this LAN, and we had like 12 squads zone 2 or something, like every single time. So like everybody's like, oh, it's not gonna play like LAN, like LAN's not gonna play like this. This is such a waste of time. Realistically, it's how the group stage is played, but how do you feel about like how people were playing versus like what you expected?
I think it's like I don't really know, to be honest. I was kind of expecting it just to be like playing out like how
Like a normal final?
did, like a normal final, yeah, like on LAN. Funny enough, like our first experience, like our first game was we landed in Mill, and obviously like Hardecky's team they were playing
Oh no.
Ash Bang Valk, I think it was.
Yeah.
And yeah, we definitely got the taste of that. He just kept bang smoking and just pushing up and looking us through smoke for digis.
Did you guys die that first
What
game?
can we do? No, we survived for quite a long time, and then a third team joined in on Mill, and we wiped one team, and then we end up like dying.
That must have
later
been
on in that game.
NRG. That might have been
And did you
NRG.
guys
they called it.
switch?
It was
Did you
an
switch
APAC
drop
North
spots
game.
after that, or what?
No, we didn't swap drop spots. We didn't land on Mill. Like the circle was on Mill, so we
you
like
just-
landed
okay, I
like
see.
we came in. Yeah,
Oh, you guys Valk ulted into Mill.
yeah, it's about going into Mill. Like we didn't contest or anything.
I
That's
think
so
you guys were you guys in our group, in C9's group?
Yeah, the very first day. Yep.
Yeah, I think Hardecky's team was our group stage.
Because Optic would have been. So that, you guys would have been on stage first, then, right?
No, we're backstage
Are you
first.
backstage
we're
first?
Our
Okay.
group farmed. We had I think after group stages, like the top 4 teams from our group, like our section, like our 10 groups or whatever,
Yeah.
10 teams in our group,
Mhm.
they like dominated so hard. It was like Rig, C9. I can't remember exactly what teams are in it, but I know that like all of our teams were like really high score.
That's
I don't know if
good.
you remember that or not, JMW.
What?
Yeah, no,
So Reg and C9 were in the same group then?
Let me
Yeah.
double check.
I think we were, weren't we?
No,
Wait, no,
you
we
guys
weren't in the
weren't.
same
No,
group. We were in a different group.
no, you guys were with
You guys were in
D2 and SSD
Group B. No, Group D. You
They
would
were
have been
Group
Group
D.
D.
We were
Group D.
Group C. Never mind. I was thinking
Yeah.
something else.
Maybe
overall
a winners bracket.
Overall
been there.
standings after group stage, Rig had, you guys were in 13th with 113 points. C9 had 7th. Alliance had 205 in first.
Yeah, they farmed.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for group stage, all you had to do was get top 20, right?
Yeah.
You didn't
Yeah.
need to.
You didn't need
like,
to
do it.
absolutely go nuclear.
Yeah, you just needed to play consistent, and you guys obviously proved that.
Yeah.
There. So how do you feel about like Caustic and how Reignite played, like how they approached with their play style in that tournament?
I think it was like as of fine. Like Zer0 was like really confident. Like I think it were like just off the bat. Like I feel like after like like I was coming in as a sub. Like he was just like confident to play. Because like beforehand, they could have been playing duo, and it was less like they have nothing
Yeah.
to lose now.
And Jen Burton was not like, he wasn't their IGL. He was more of just a fragger. So
Yeah.
like you fit in. You
it was
fit in
like
really
a fragger
well.
with like cool, like kind of like a cool like
He was,
some, like give ideas.
good
and
help.
He'd
Yeah,
be
good
like a
ideas.
fight IGL potentially.
Did you
maybe?
did you do any of that on your own? Did you offer suggestions, or did
So-
you mostly just shut up and shoot your gun?
I would offer like suggestions and stuff to Zer0, but mainly because like I kind of like took the role as just I want Zer0 to do what he wants to do. I don't want to I
Mhm.
don't want to come in and interrupt any of his stuff. I don't want to make him feel unconfident when he's calling stuff.
For sure.
I just want to let him play his game, and if he tells us to do something, like we're gonna do it. So that's like kind of how I like played the role like there. Like I just whatever you wanted me to do, I'll do.
Yeah.
Like I would offer like some things, where we're like rotating or something, or like spots to play in like games, like just giving them a second like a second set of eyes basically. But no, most of the time I would just like, shut up, do what you want to do, and go from there really.
Cool. Yeah.
But yeah, with the comp, Caustic, Gibby, Zer0 and Sharky like work really well together with his like Falcon Gibby. Like he like likes to. Obviously, I don't want to like give too much away, like obviously with their stuff, but
Yeah.
likes to play like a really aggressive and stuff. And Sharky's always there to back him up, like always. They have like a little
Sharky's
good,
the
like,
Gibby player, right?
Gibby player. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, I guess you
And-
kind of have the insights on how they play now, so you'll be able to really easily counter them.
That's why when Graceful filled for us, we invited him to our team Discord that has like all of our strats and everything.
Oh,
And then right
no.
after the last game, I looked at him, I was like, I'm kicking you out of the Discord now, and I fucking booted him. I was like, you're not stealing any of our strats.
That's brilliant.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
gosh.
But
So-
no, I was just like playing like a Caustic how he would want me to play Caustic,
Mhm.
play aggressive in gas, just do all that stuff. really. Like barrel
Do
where
what
you
you're
want to
told
be
to.
barrel.
Yeah.
Just do what told to do, really.
So
Do you think that they okay? So with your team in Pro League,
Yep.
what comp did you guys play with your team prior with Graceful?
So for Storm Point, we played Valk, Crypto, Gibby, and our
Okay.
Storm Point was really, really good. Like really, really good.
Where do you guys land in respect to where Reignite lands?
So Rig Flex lands, and on KNG we land Cascades. We have Cascades, and we have Lava Fisher / Harvester.
Okay.
So we landed Harvester when Empire wasn't in the group, and they weren't in our group. So we landed there like 12 out of the 18 games, I think, on World's Edge.
Yeah.
And Lava Fisher for the 6. Wait, I think that was right. It's like 3 and 3, isn't it? So I might have messed up the calculation.
Something like that. Basically,
But it
Harvester.
was
Lava Fisher.
yeah, basically Harvester. And
Yeah.
all of Cascades for Storm Point. But Rick, we literally flexed everywhere on each map, you know. But sometimes we
You
did
guys
get
played
the
crypto
best
on both maps for your team?
for KNG.
Yeah.
No, only Storm Point. But that we then played Caustic, Gibby, Valk on World's Edge.
Okay.
But then we later swapped that to Grace off Caustic and him on Wraith.
Okay.
So we played those 3 comps.
Do you
And
think
on
that
Rick-
like the play style of like your team with Kungarna versus Rig was similar, or was it basically different?
No, it was different for sure. Especially like with like Valkults as well. Like us on KNG, we're not really good at Valkults. To be fair, like I think that's been one of our like worst things since she's been introduced. We're just not like good at Valkults. We've never been,
Yeah.
and I think that's put like a lot of, you know, like downfall to our success on like Valkults really.
That was one of the struggles that we had to go through a lot
Yeah.
in C9 as well.
So, but like
It's hard.
when I went,
It's easy to throw your game with a Valkyl.
yeah, exactly. So, but with Rick, it was just like, funny enough, he was just like, I'm going to call something in the air and you guys are going to listen. And
you just got to be big dick. You kind of just
yeah,
have to like
and I
take a
think
spot.
out of all our Valkults that we did, I think we did one pretty much every single game in LAN. I think 2 Valkults, like we messed up. That was it.
That's
Like it was
crazy.
just a bad call. And for the first time ever, I was confident going up into the sky.
Imagine that.
Going up in the air and landing somewhere, I was just pretty confident. It was like, it was so weird. Just because he was just like, yeah, we're doing this. Like, you know, we're doing this. Whereas like before, it's just like we're taking multiple options. And it's like, you know, we don't know what's going to happen, you know, when we land and stuff.
Did he have a backup plan like in the air, or was it just like you're landing here and we're just going to fight basically?
So basically like when we were about to go, he would be like, we can do this, this and this. I'm going to call it in midair though. And when he saw something, he was basically set on it and he knew it was going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's just confidence,
that was kind
man.
of that's just confidence. And it worked out pretty much every time, to be fair. Like he knew spots and stuff to play and yeah. Just went from there.
He's
So
the best he's the best IGL in the game, I guess now.
Good shit, Zer0.
Yeah. And so actually I did want to shout out to Zer0. The thing that I wanted to kind of touch on was Grace was your guys' IGL. I don't know how if you were like a co with him or anything. But in comparison to the way Zer0 IGLs versus the way that Grace IGLs, we were talking about there's a play style difference, but in the IGLs, is it different?
I think it's definitely different. I think with Grace is like a bit like I like know how good it is. It's been, you know, wouldn't have stuck with him this long if I didn't think he was this good.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Grace as well. Grace wouldn't have stuck with me if he didn't believe in me as well. And it kind of went both ways. So with Grace, I think he knows his game. He knows what the right play is to do in the situations. I think the only problem with Grace is he always tells himself that he should have gone with his gut feeling in the moment. And I feel like that like conflicts with him quite a bit because I think he thinks one thing in one side and then his gut's telling him another thing. And he's like, oh, last minute decision, go with the thing that I was thinking before. And
Yeah,
it
he
turns out
second
to be the
guesses
wrong.
himself a little
Yeah,
bit.
second guess of himself. And I think that's where like some calls get messed up. But when Grace is on point calling, I've seen like really good calls from him. Like when the time I've been playing with him, really, really good, strong calls. Then everything just like it just works well with him, you know.
Mhm.
And at the same time, obviously he's a really good like fragger as well, and he can do his job, and he can flex any character as well.
For sure.
So he kind of like fills 3 roles if he wanted to.
Yeah, he actually, like I said before, Graceful was our emergency COVID sub in C9, and he stepped in for Zach, who was our main IGL. So it was a little bit different than Ring Night. We didn't just lose like a fragger; we lost our literal IGL. And
Mhm.
Zach is a very dominant IGL who just takes over the team, and he also is very aggressive. And Graceful, when he subbed in, we actually had him do our IGLing on Storm Point and World's Edge, but the way we had to do it was very weird because obviously you didn't know all of our strats.
Yeah.
So the way we did it was we had Mac do all of our macro rotations and our strats and get us into spots, and then Grayson would take over and do like micro and like tell them what to do, like how to fight, who to fight, when to push, when to not push, stuff like that. And I think noticing very clearly that Zach is much more aggressive than Graceful. Graceful is very passive,
Mhm.
and he was very good at that. But I think the part where I think he fell short a little bit was not knowing when to flip the switch and become that aggressive player. I think that's what fell through with us a little bit, and
You,
obviously a little bit of synergy. But
you guys definitely had less Mazer moments. We'll say that.
yeah, for sure, that was one of the things that we took a lot of value out of Graceful, is that he was really good at keeping them together and playing safe and
Yeah.
smart. But
Mhm.
if he just had that little extra push on when to like flip the switch and just that team dies and
Yeah.
fight together really well, I think we probably would have popped off even harder. But it's a hard role for him to fill, coming in as
Yeah.
like a partial IGL, not knowing our strats and having a sub for us and never playing together too. So
Yeah, I think where the difference between comes in, I think Grace thinks like a lot more about the risk in doing things than
yeah,
just
Yeah.
to do it, you know? Whereas Zer0 is like, oh, I'm going for this care package, you know? I've
This
just
is
seen
gonna
a team
work.
move up. This is going to work.
Yeah.
Or I've just seen a team rotate out of a spot. We're going there.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Doesn't even think about it, just goes.
Yeah.
yeah, no, just snaps in his head. Just come, you just call it. And it worked. Like I was like quite surprised, and like I was confident with him all the way. And every time he made
Awesome.
a call, I was just there with him.
When it came to
Because
3v3s, how did that feel? Because obviously 3v3s can sometimes take some synergy to kind of get working, and bubble fights can often get costed if you're not like on the same
Yeah.
page. Sometimes did it feel natural?
So I think when 3v3ing, so like with myself, I was like, I know I need to listen to these guys. I think one of the problem is like me and like Sharky didn't really stay together too much because you know we kind of like had to like kind of stay together because obviously I don't have any Caustic doesn't have any movement and
Yeah.
stuff, and Gibby has the gut bubble to protect, and then Valk obviously has a jetpacks to do like flanks and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So we definitely like on our first game we definitely had trouble with that, and Zer0 was like just making sure like we need to do this like together.
Stay together.
And like he just kept like going through it, and like obviously in the first couple of days Sharky was like, yeah, he's like, I'm not playing my best, and like he like Zer0 was like he knows he can do better, and you know things happen, and then definitely like I think everyone picked it up like towards like the coming end, on the winners bracket and final for sure. Like we all definitely picked it up, and I think the synergy was way higher than it was on like the first like 18 games or so.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the last game? Did LG throw the shit out of the tournament or what?
So obviously we didn't know like who was alive in the end.
Yeah.
You knew there was a
I've-
Horizon team and you knew there was a Caustic team, right?
Yeah, so we didn't. When that like Costigot came down,
Yeah.
I think like we could have played it way better. You know, like we could have just bubbled into like the open. We could have gone to the rock that we went to before. I feel like we were just trying to play it just a bit too safe.
Yeah.
I think also like Sharky messed up his medkit.
Is that how he died to the caustic ult?
Yeah, so he was trying to pop a medkit, and I think it was like 2 or 3 seconds off, like ish. And Zer0 just managed to get out of the caustic ult and go to the rock, so which he was safe. Obviously, I could just stand in it.
Yeah.
So I think we were playing it just a bit too safe, because I think if we bubbled, would have been fine, because we could have tanked the Gibby ult. And
Later
also,
on,
if we went to the rock, we could have LOS'd it long enough to go back to our rock. So I think we could have gone either way.
I feel like
yeah.
if you guys caustic ult, or when they caustic ulted you and you guys burned dome instead of to like cut the caustic ult off, I think you guys would have just got like focus, because I think if you burn your dome there, both of them still have ult. Like both of them still have Gibby ult, even though LG can't fight you like long range because they only had the shotguns.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only problem with that, what you're saying, is that obviously in the stage we don't know, but Optic on the lower ground thought we were the team above.
Yeah, Optic didn't know because there was a caustic team on match point, and both other teams were caustic.
Yeah.
LG should have known.
LG, should have known. It's very like fortunate they didn't have enough ammo to finish Sharky when he was crawling across.
The part that I wanted to point out was I don't understand why LG they didn't use their Gibby ult on you. Maybe they didn't have it at the time. Not
No,
sure.
they had it. I remember
they
had it. They had it.
Didn't one of the teams use their Gibby ult, but there was a Watson gen like sucking it all up.
Someone used it early. I remember that.
It might have been Optic. Maybe it was LG. But regardless, like if LG is up top and the other two teams is a caustic team and a Horizon team, and there's a caustic team on match point and there's no Horizon team on match point, why didn't they just triple jump off the height onto you and force the fight?
Because I think what the reason was, Optic thought we were the ones up top, so then I think maybe Optic Gibby ulted to try and force a
Yes,
bubble.
they did.
And
they did.
Then I think Optic wanted the team, like us, like, well, they thought it was a different team, but us, to get up and then Gibby ult the team top at top, because they wouldn't have had a bubble.
Yeah.
Yes. But why didn't LG jump off
Did
the
you
height
guys
and
have
push you guys?
Did you guys have Gibby ult then?
Yes.
Okay.
They had Gibby ult as well.
LG had so much space on the high ground, they could have easily dodged that Gibby ult and run across the thing and push you guys. Like they wouldn't have won. They wouldn't have won the fight, but they could have forced you guys to die.
I don't know if LG knew it was us.
It doesn't matter. There was a caustic team on match point, and they were a caustic team. It wasn't them, and the other team was Horizon. They're not on match point, and you guys were a caustic team. So they, you know what I mean? Like process of elimination. I think that, and the thing is, LG, they weren't on match point, but they had enough points to put them on match point.
They were playing to win the game, and I heard someone told me that they were trying to play to win instead of like.
Yeah, the problem is they didn't need to though. They should. They had enough points already to put them on match point. They needed to just full send you guys.
Yeah.
Like,
so I don't really know though.
Yeah.
Behind that, but I guess they were just trying to get as many points as possible.
Yeah, when everyone saw that you guys got a res reset, they were just like,
it's over.
No, yeah, like, that's what I mean. I feel like we could have avoided the res, you know, like we could have avoided someone going down.
Yeah.
I know.
It's hindsight.
It would have made it like a lot cleaner in the end.
I don't know if you realize or not, but C9 actually Valk ulted, and we were gonna oob you guys.
Yeah.
And with the caustic ult and bubble and everything. But when Graceful flew on top of the mountain, he landed on a spot that was a sliding surface. Yep. And it slid him off the opposite side of the mountain into LG, and he died midair before he could even bubble. So he died for free.
Grace was talking to me a lot about that. There was a lot of scenarios throughout the tournament where we like ooped, and there was a lot of slidey places where I thought it was not going to slide. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate.
I think that's just
that happened into one of our games actually with Sharky. Sharky got slid one way, Force slid one way, and me and Zer0 went the other way, and it completely split our team. So
I guess
no, I definitely get what you're talking about.
Maybe we should go into our next topic of like season 13 changes, because season 13 is going to very heavily impact champs, and one of the changes for season 13 is oobing. For people that don't know what that means, it's out of bounds. And they did a massive nerf to that in season 13. They made it so. Let me pull this up real quick.
Yeah, there was a lot to do with it now. You basically can't do anything. You just have to drop now, don't you?
They made it so
Yeah.
when you're out of bounds, you can't use the legend abilities, you can't use your weapons, you have no ordinances, no survival items, you cannot heal, and you have no passives. So literally the only thing you can do is move and climb.
Move and climb, yeah.
Yeah, and that goes for when you're it always says return to battle, right?
Yes, yeah, that's,
that's
only when
yeah,
that's
still-
happening.
So it still counts for when you're dropping as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Until that return to battle goes away,
Then everything gets unlocked.
everything is unlocked after that. So I think it's gonna work like a Seer. It's gonna work like Seer's like
Interrupt,
ability, his interrupt. It's gonna be everything's gonna be locked on your screen, and then until you drop out of the thing, and then it'll unlock for you. So realistically, you should be able to still bubble down, like as you're falling down, but it'll be like you're basically at the ground before you'd be able to bubble. So you'll get the landing lag, and then that potentially could get you killed instantly anyways. So
yeah, so
we'll see how that goes.
A big change, because I think most teams was like land up top, throw across the goal down, land on it. You know, a lot of stuff like that, like GBLs and stuff like this. And obviously, like Valk's jetpack now, you can't land, just fly in the air with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be quite interesting when Valks go up in the air and they're next to a building. It's just going to say return to battle, and it cuts out the jetpack.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Yeah,
it's weird because it's gonna be like because on the way up sometimes you get return to battle, so it'll be weird to like. Is it just gonna go? No, you can't do anything. And it's just gonna drop you from the sky. Like I feel like it won't do that, but we'll see.
Yeah,
it could be really
also,
buggy.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird to like try out for sure. It's gonna be interesting.
Are you happy that Stormpoint's coming back for ranked?
I don't mind it, honestly. I think it's better than KC, obviously. I'm kind of more excited about the rank changes. Like, hopefully, it's going to be much better. Like,
I hope it's just sweaty.
Wait, did you say you like KC? Is that what I heard correctly?
No, I said Stormpoint's much better than KC.
Oh yeah, okay.
Do you like it as a map though?
Yeah, I like it. Like, obviously, there could be done some things to it. I don't like how one side of the map is just a big ass mountain, and then the other one is just super small. I don't like that.
The lightning rod zones are pretty papega, dude.
Yeah, I think that bit of the map is just horrendous. But
yeah,
that new POI is gonna be cool though.
Yeah, I haven't really checked much about it.
Like, you guys think Optic's gonna try and take both of them?
I don't think they'll.
Can they?
That's gonna be a bit too much.
I don't think they need it because there's that no-name area of them has a beacon and a crafter. So
like out the front, the no-name out the front that's by the spider cave, is that the place that you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the actual
by the cannon.
By the cannon. And
it's way at the back.
It's above cave. It's to the east of mill.
Yeah.
It's like it has a bunch of buildings, and it has a respawn, and it has a crafter, it has a beacon.
Although at the very back of the map.
That's kind of a POI within itself, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
But
I was gonna say I don't really mind which map I play, honestly.
The good thing about Stormpoint coming back is that these teams that are getting ready for champs can actually play it and practice on it, because going into playoffs there was no practice for Stormpoint at all outside of scrims, because it wasn't. I think World's Edge wasn't in pubs or ranked or something. Or maybe it was in the first split of ranked. I don't remember. No, it wasn't. It was Olympus and KC.
No, it was
Olympus.
It was
last season was Olympus and KC. So
and Stormpoint.
There was literally no World's Edge at all in pubs. And then Stormpoint was in pubs, but it wasn't in ranked.
Yeah.
So the only way you could practice was through customs, which are closed to private scrims only.
People were asking if they were actually gonna give us custom, like everybody custom lobby access, but I've been telling people no, they're not at that point yet. We would know.
Yeah, I don't think they changed the name in the patch notes from private lobbies to custom lobbies.
Just custom lobbies, yeah.
I think they're getting ready to transition into that. I don't think
it won't be for either. I don't think it'll be next season. It might be the season after. It'll be done by the end of the year. I don't think they're ready quite yet. There's a lot of other things that need to be fixed before we can get to that point.
Yeah, but going into champs though, we have a new POI at Stormpoint. That's good because that map needs more POIs.
Mm-hmm.
Balance updates. We have 301 going in the crafters, so all the light guns are gonna suck now.
No.
Flatline's coming out. Fortify got a little
Spitty.
bit of a nerf. The helmet buffs. What do you guys think about that? Helmet buffs. I actually really like to see that, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
I was kind of like intrigued by that, honestly, as well. I was
I've been
not
complaining about
expecting
helmets for
that.
a year.
It's a
Um,
counter.
swing.
So the fortified nerf is to the headshot damage, and then they're upping this to kind of bring it down a little bit. So it's like
Yeah,
it's not
they-
as bad.
They
of a nerf.
But
I
they buffed
complained
it quite
about.
hard, didn't they?
I claimed. Yeah,
What'd you
they
say?
did.
They buffed the helmets quite hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
blue
Like, it was a
helmet
pretty big buff.
goes. It goes from 40% to 50% reduction of
Yeah.
the bonus damage.
Purple's
and
even better,
purple is
isn't it?
50 to 65. Yeah, I got a 15%.
Yeah, so 50.
Okay.
I've been pointing this out for a while now. I think headshots in Apex, people don't really aim for the head with
Yeah.
spray guns.
No.
They do with like wingman, like low fire rate guns, wingman, longbow, sentinel. Those guns, people aim for the head for sure.
Yeah.
But the good thing with the helmet buff is that they also nerfed the Kraber. So you can survive Kraber headshots now. If you have a blue helmet, you have to have red armor. If you have a purple helmet, you have to have at least a purple armor. And you can survive Kraber headshots now. So
Okay,
that's pretty
Yeah.
good.
that's nice.
Wait, so Kraber can't one shot at all now. That's what
it
we're getting
can.
from this.
No, it
Oh, it
can.
can?
It can,
but
it
you
can
have
one
to
shot.
have-
You have to have the white
Yeah.
helmet, right?
No, if
blue
you have
for red.
yeah, if you have a blue helmet, you have to have a red armor to survive a Kraber
Okay.
headshot. If you have a purple helmet,
Perfect.
you have to have at least a purple armor. Because it'll do
Yeah, so
like
purple. Yeah.
189. It'll do 189 to purple helmet.
You're gonna be like 1 HP on both of those things, so
Yeah, you're still gonna be super low. Yeah.
But at least you can survive, I guess.
If you have full
your
health,
game
you
is
can
not
survive.
instantly over.
Yeah.
It's
It'll
just
probably- it'll
almost
probably
over.
Still be instantly over.
Yeah.
It'll be over 2 seconds later than it normally would have been. So yeah, we still have to deal with Kraber in LGS. That was actually one of the things in the last game of playoffs as well, as Rig had a Kraber.
Yeah.
C9 was gonna push you guys, and you guys shot a Kraber at them, and they noped the fuck the other direction.
Yeah.
Yep.
C9 was like, let's push these guys. You guys Kraber shot and missed, and they're like, we're going the other way, we're back ulting.
Yeah.
It's just the power
Again,
of Kraber.
that's where Zer0 comes in. I'm going for the package, wherever
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
You got the
It works
the
out.
risks, the
You
reward.
guys were lucky that Lobo was not picked very often or at all in this tournament because like that's
There was
like
lot
a
of crazy
game
stuff this
now.
tournament.
That's like a game now. If someone's playing Loba, you have to get that instantly or it's gone. Like you have to be on
Yeah.
the pack waiting for it or it's just instantly stolen.
Mhm.
So I think
What
that's
are,
good about the meta.
What are some weapon choices that you usually gravitate towards, JMW?
Honestly, I like anything really. As of
What did you
recently,
use
'cause I've
mostly in
come-
that tournament?
Mostly in the tournament, was probably Wingman Car or Carbine PK.
Okay.
Those two.
You prefer the PK over the Mastiff, even in the season 12?
I didn't mind which one I got, honestly. It was
Yeah.
kind of a more of like what Sharky wanted, and I would just
Yeah.
give the Gibby whatever he wanted.
Yeah, usually Mastiff.
Was he a
So-
Mastiff player?
Yeah.
Well, he's a Gibby
Yeah, he
main,
was.
and you normally always want to
Yeah,
run
you only run Mastiff.
So I just
Yeah.
basically used whatever like shotgun I was given, and
Okay.
I really enjoyed PK, so I kept using it. Kept
Yeah.
like,
The reason
good.
I
Roll with
ask
it.
is because for season 13, Mastiff is going in the game crate,
yeah.
and PK is actually getting a bit of a buff to limb damage.
I'm excited.
PK is probably going to be meta.
Yeah.
Wingman staying the same, car staying the same, so you'll probably be big chilling.
Yep.
Eva's staying the same too, right? Or are they doing
Yeah.
something to it?
Yeah, Eva's horrible.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Staying the
I
same.
miss
That is
Eva meta. I might be the only person that will ever
Oh.
say this, but Eva meta having
It's
like
kind of fun.
I feel
It
like
was alright.
for me as a player that's not as good as like the pros and stuff, having a broken shotgun at all times that I know that like I need to pick this up and I'll actually have a chance to fight someone. That's the way I feel about the
Yeah.
shotgun meta, but like having a balanced shotgun meta, I don't know what to pick up because I might hit my shots on one weapon in one fight, but
Yeah, just don't
then I'll
miss.
be like, yeah, if I miss, then I'm like, I'm the worst player in the game.
I think at the time it's just because I think everyone hated it because Octane was meta as well, and you just had 3 pros with 3
No
ears
audio.
just jumping.
Adding
You just
in
no
audio.
audio, bump, 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 and you're dead in 3
And
shots.
the
Yeah.
fire rate was just ridiculous on that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just
They
horrible to play against. You would just get insta-killed.
they butchered Eva and it did not get a buff in season 13, so
No.
we will not be seeing that. They did do a global nerf to LMGs. It seems they like
Perfect.
massively nerfed Rampage, L-Star,
Yeah.
Devotion,
Spitfire.
I'm honestly sad to see the Spitfire come out. Oh,
I wish
if
the
only
Scout
Volt
came out.
Came back out.
It did get
The
nerfed
Volt
pretty
or
hard though.
Scout,
So.
Yeah, Volder Scout. I feel like they really dropped the ball on that. Obviously, like when the Spitfire came out of the came into a package and you saw it, I'm not taking that. Like that's a gun that I'll just leave.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
really at the end of the day, like there's so much more broken things that you can have on that and show up. Like obviously if the Mastiff shows up now, like everything in
think
that
this-
package now, I will pick up. I'm not going to leave it.
This past iteration of game crates was like the worst one, right?
I think so.
It's Scout and Spitfire. You're just kind of like, eh. Volt,
Yeah.
pretty OP, but even sometimes people
Yeah.
wouldn't really grab Volt if they're M and K players. And
Yep.
obviously Kraber OP, but
I just like the last one was just really hard for someone that's not great at the game. You like if you see it pop up there, like I'm not taking Spitfire, I'm not taking Scout. Like I'll take it every once in a while because I'm a Gibby player, but like at the end of the day, I'm not taking Scout. I'm taking Volt or Kraber because like
yeah.
But now,
Yeah,
like
makes
I think it's
sense.
actually decent. Like I think I will pick up every single gun that comes out of the package. If I'm
Another
allowed.
thing to point out is they threw in a random patch update that I didn't really expect. They nerfed cells and syringes spawn rates by 20%.
I hate
It was
that.
18%.
I'm not
but
happy with that, honestly.
That's very interesting. For like edge teams, that's not really gonna matter. But
That's
for
grounds
anyone
for a
that
Loba.
really rotates, that's we might be seeing a lot more Watson and Lobas for teams.
Yep.
in future
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel
ALGSs.
about the cells and syringe nerf.
Well, I feel
Yeah.
like that's something that actually could get reverted. Like I think if it feels so bad that like it'll be like the Evo change that came out where we had to switch it to like you actually have more armor now. I could see that being like
Yeah, we'll see.
a week or two into the split. Like if we go into comp and someone has 4 cells coming out of their POI, people are gonna rage.
I wonder what their reasoning behind that is. If maybe they want to indirectly buff Watson and Loba, or like they want people to camp a little bit less, but have less
Yeah.
resources, or I feel like that might make people camp more because then they won't be able to peek.
Yeah.
They won't be able to shoot things. You know what I mean?
You're kind of counterintuiting it because you need to level up your Evo, but you also don't want to peak because you have 5 cells. Like
Yeah.
I feel like they're going in the right direction, but then they're kind of taking a U-turn for some reason, and it just
Could
feels
be.
Like
weird.
I get also like it can help with like other spawns, like I guess like bats, phoenixes. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was.
What they
thinking.
need to start
but-
talking about or touching is the bag, like the white bag and the white armor spawn rates. Those need to change.
Yeah.
Bring back the healing stuff. But I
They
feel
need to
like
listen to me.
there's way too
Just
many.
Delete the entire level 1 category.
Yeah,
You should just spawn with it.
I really hope this 18% doesn't. Like, I'm kind of like intrigued to where it goes to. Like, it best not be like, oh, there's the more level 1 attachments is going to get like increased now,
Yeah.
or like like they can't. be doing
You're
that
going to be
for
seeing
sure.
a lot of Twitter pictures of me opening a bin, and it'll be 4 white
It'll be
backpacks.
4 white backpacks or 4 white
yeah.
light mags. Like,
Yeah, 4
Yeah.
fucking sniper attachments, and I'll just be sitting on top with a crypto drone taking a selfie.
Yeah, nah,
You'll have the
really.
rainbow of sniper attachments in the crate.
I guess some other things we can mention real quick is Rampart got a pretty significant buff.
I want to see her in comp.
Yeah,
We might see her played a little bit with Newcastle potentially. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll
I
see
feel like
some Newcastle.
his wall is better than
Because-
her wall, like
could you
100%.
with the Newcastle Ultimate? Can you not put up the rampart wall behind the covers? You know where the gaps are.
Oh, you
without being
can.
shot.
Oh,
You definitely can.
yeah, that's gonna be fun.
So you can deploy them
Yeah.
and then obviously have. Even
I
more
think
cover.
it's a matter of if you can survive a Gibiel or if you can survive a bunch of nades or survive a Caustical while behind that Newcastle
I think you'll need a Gibby with him. I think the comps are going to be Valk.
Watson.
It'll be Valk.
It could be
it could be
Watson.
Valk Watson Newcastle or Valk Gibby Newcastle.
It also depends if Newcastle is good enough at giving you permanent cover, or if you can only use him for temporary cover to take someone else.
I could see him being the same as Rampart, like when she first came out. Like people thought she was going to be OP, but the wall cover is just not. It doesn't work as well as Gibby.
Yeah.
What I originally thought was he was going to have the slam do damage, and I was going to say Valk Horizon Newcastle so that you pull everybody in and then you slam down on them. But I guess they didn't want to do that.
Jeez,
that would have been broken.
I don't know how I would feel about that.
That'd be a fun way to play, but it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so another Valk nerf was that you can't spin anymore when you Valk ult. So there's that plus the Ubing
rip
change.
Controllers, man. Rip controllers for that.
I personally think that Valk is still incredibly broken and will still be hard meta. I don't think we're going to see any new comps spin out of this, to be honest. But
I just feel like it's going to be easy to target, like, obviously, one of the 3 people now. Oh, Gibby's on the right side, the attachment to Valk. Just focus him.
True, but I think the play style of the Valk teams will change. I think
people are just too good at shooting them out of the air now. Like you just can't get up in the first place, even when you spin.
I think that people are just going to utilize Valk for the macro rotates, and it's not going to be used for panic situations.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's just going to limit the situations where you could use the Valk ult.
I think also when it comes to LAN, when there's a lot of teams alive, not many people are focusing on shooting that many Valk ults. They're trying to focus on them surviving.
Yeah.
At least as
you got to remember is like she has the best macro rotate in the game, and if you don't have a Valk in a 20-team LAN when everyone's alive, you just get choked out and you're dead. You can't do anything.
Bear in mind, you got to remember her passive as well, fighting around buildings and stuff, and
her kit even without ult is insane,
and her Q as well, which is still really good.
I think her passive is good, and I think that's something that if you show no presence, you just instantly kill a Valk team because no one knows. Like you're just gonna get landed on. You're either gonna get griefed or they're gonna get griefed for landing on you.
Yeah.
So like, there's a good way to like. That's kind of a closet nerf to herself, even if that's just a play style nerf. So if someone doesn't show, then like there's ways to make it so that she can be less useful. And I definitely think the ways the things the changes that they made to her are really good. And I think she'll still be meta, but I don't think she'll be as meta. I think there might be a way to find a better character.
I think there's going to be some definitely like talks of teams in terms of comps. I think it'd be interesting to see.
I do think that people will try Newcastle for sure.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
Some teams will probably give Rampart a shot. We'll see how that works out. I think Watson is going to get a little bit of a buff, especially with the cell change.
Yep.
And I think Watson pairs decently well with Newcastle.
You also got to remember as well with the spawn rates going down, maybe ALGS come up. So obviously that's a big buff for Watson as well.
That is.
And Caustic is still broken. They
didn't touch him.
Except for the 4-5, but like I don't know.
They didn't touch Gibby. They didn't touch Caustic. Like people thought Caustic was going to be shit this season, and he was definitely like he's still just as broken as he was because of the shooting of it.
It's so
OP. Yep. Well, I think I'm going to try and wrap it up here. I think we've covered a lot of things today. I'm really happy with everything that we've talked about, and thank you for coming on, JMW. If there's anything that you want to plug and shout out right now, feel free to do that.
You can go follow my Twitch on JMW FPS. Same with my Twitter. It's pretty much all socials JMW FPS. And thank you for having me, guys.
It was a lot of fun. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks to PvP for being the co-host. You might see him on next time, depending on where tempo is. But until next time, peace.